Todd Book here. Word on the square is capital punishment laws will be changed during lame duck. We talked with Professor Douglas Berman of The Ohio State University to see what laws needed to be changed.
So I am Professor Douglas Berman. I teach here at The Ohio State University Moritz College of Law, and my teaching areas are criminal law generally and sentencing and the death penalty in particular, and I've done a considerable amount of scholarship, edit some journals, write a case book focused on sentencing law, and I've spent a lot of time paying attention to death penalty developments, both here in Ohio and nationwide. You asked what changes did Attorney General DeWine seek or is concerned about when he's suggesting that to get the death penalty functional again, to have executions go forward, there would need to be some legislation. And what I believe Attorney General DeWine is concerned about is the shortage of the traditional drugs that Ohio has used in its, originally its 3-drug protocol. It changed that to a 1-drug protocol. But like a lot of states, Ohio has had a challenge procuring that drug from an original manufacturer. And so a number of other states have turned to compounding pharmacies. And I think that's what Ohio is considering doing. But without legislation that expressly provides that we can get the drugs from compounding pharmacies and that might shield the identity of compounding pharmacies to prevent protests and other sorts of interferences, I think Attorney General DeWine's concerned that there will be litigation and other kinds of uncertainty or challenges to any effort to move forward with executions. Judge Gregory Frost, the U.S. District Judge here in Columbus, has a moratorium in place on any executions until the state can represent to him that the problems that transpired with McGuire execution won't happen again. And again, that's where I think DeWine has stepped in and said the only way he as Attorney General feels confident that the state can move forward and represent that things are going to work out okay is to go this compounding pharmacy route, try to go back to the 1-drug protocol and then move forward with that, but hoping to have legislation to enable that all to move forward expeditiously. I think for many, the hope is, can we keep working out the kinks of what we're doing now and make the current lethal injection approach viable rather than seriously consider other options, all of which come with their own historical or legal baggage in one way or another.
It was a pleasure speaking with Douglas Berman on the subject. Last week we also had Stephen Holland, Executive Director of the Constitutional Modernization Commission, visit the Council of Delegates to update us on what we expect for 2015 in his commission. Hi, we're here with Steve Holland, Executive Director of the Ohio Constitutional Modernization Commission. And Steve, you just presented to our Council of Delegates, did a great job informing them of what's going on. Tell us, what do we expect to see from the commission in the next couple months?
Well, the Commission over the course of 2015, let's say, will start seeing some reports and recommendations coming out of these 6 subject matter committees. And they'll be making full reports and recommendations to the Commission of 32 members, dealing with the particular provisions of the Constitution, which those committees have been asked to review. Bill of Rights, for instance, will be looking at issues such as disenfranchisement of voters because of felony convictions and things of that nature. And so we'll start to see reports and recommendations coming forward here in the next several months, and then the full commission will take a look at those and be passing them forward to the Ohio General Assembly. And then the Ohio General Assembly will have to take a look at whether they want to take any actions or on our recommendations on whether matters should be amended, or if we, of course, make a recommendation that they not be amended, then the General Assembly can leave it at that.
Well, one issue that I think a lot of people are interested in has to do with redistricting and reapportionment. Any ideas, any thoughts on what's going to happen with that one?
That's the $64,000 question, isn't it?
Glad I asked.
The committee that has been taking a look at that, the legislative branch and executive branch committee, has been reviewing that for the last several months. Of course, at core, it is some see it as being a political issue that perhaps the General Assembly itself may take some action on in lame duck. If they do, that's fine. Then the commission may not address the issue. If they don't, then the commission will certainly go forward and be making some recommendations on this particular point.
Well, the commission is scheduled to be around for a while. How long is it actually going to be in place?
The commission, the legislation, the enabling legislation says the commission can exist up to June 30th, 2021. So we have a little bit of time left yet to look at these provisions. There are 259 sections in the Constitution, 18 articles, and we've issued reports and recommendations, at least in draft form, on 5 of them. So there's a lot of work yet to go.
A long way to go. Well, good luck, and keep the OSBA and us lawyers in mind, okay?
You bet.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
The election's over, and it's officially lame duck season at the legislature. We'll do our best to keep you up to date as things progress. That's the word on the square. This is Todd Book with On the Books.
That was a big deal historically in the United States and in many other countries. Executions were very public, and the thought was this would increase the likelihood of deterring crime if the citizens could go out to their neighborhood square and see somebody being hung or otherwise subject to some extreme method of execution. Whether that's proven the case, there are famous stories in England of pickpocketers, which was a death penalty crime, having their best field days at public executions because everyone would be staring at the noose, and that would be a great time to pick pockets. And so people who don't believe in deterrence or the ability of deterrence would often cite to that as an example that even as the execution was going forward, the crime was moving ahead because people didn't think they'd get caught or they didn't think they'd get punished.